Here's how I apply nail tips for a beautiful at-home manicure. Generally, I love to dip over my natural nails, but every once in a while, because I'm clumsy, I break a nail and I have to fix it, or I do an entire renovation on my bathroom and I ruin all my nails and then I have to put tips on every single finger. In any case, no matter what boat you're in, this is how I apply tips to get an instantly beautiful manicure at home. These are my favorite tips to use. Personally, I love half coverage tips. I have flatter nail beds. I find full coverage tips are a real hassle for me. That's why I love these ones. First thing you want to do is size your tips. This is so important to make sure that they fit properly. If they're too small, they'll pop off. If they're too big, you'll also have problems. You just want to place them on the nail and make sure that they fit the side walls properly. So once I've sized all my tips, I like to lay them all out so they're ready to go, and then I'm going to grab my e-file and we're actually going to etch the inside. This will help your tips adhere so much better to your nail. Now you could use a hand file to do this, but it is a little bit easier if you happen to have an e-file. Now we're going to take our glue. We're just going to dab that on the edge of the tip, and then starting at a 45-degree angle, we're just going to gently place that onto the nail and then press forward. And then hold until the glue dries. Once the glue is dried, you can grab your clippers and you can just snip off the little tab. Once you've applied all of your tips to every finger, you want to go ahead and rough up the surface of all of your tips, and you also want to blend the tip into the natural nail. By roughing up the surface of the tip, your dip is going to adhere so much better. So you can do that with a hand file. You can run your hand file just along the edge. If you do have an e-file though, you can use a sanding band and do the same thing. Now I find it much easier when working with my dominant hand if I actually just hold the e-file still and then move my finger around. So here's a little trick to get a very seamless blend from the tip into the natural nail. Grab a brush or a Q-tip with a little bit of acetone and then just run it along the edge. This is going to help melt the tip into the nail, so that way you get a really seamless blend. Now we're going to take our file and shape our nails. Keep in mind, if you're using dip powder, you want to shape your nails a little bit thinner than how you actually want them. The dip is going to add some bulk, so it's better to make them a little bit thinner, and that way you'll end up with a really nice looking manicure at the end. Now the best way to shape your nails is just to take a little bit off at a time from either side, and then that way you won't end up with one side that's a little bit wonky or a little bit overshaped. And once you're done shaping all of your tips, you can go ahead and apply your dip powder over top. And don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any tutorials or nail inspo.